Hey, it's Tyler Cavalli and Jacob Roth along with you here for KRVN as we are at Belschner here at Custom Meats in Amherst. One of the many stops, of course, for the Nebraska Beef Passport program. Of course, our program, Sizzling across Nebraska. Glad to have you along as we are talking with Casey Mitchell, who's the owner and president. First off, if no one's been here, boy, this is a really cool, unique spot. What a unique location. Talk more about that.
Yeah, a lot of old stuff in here. This shop's been in this spot since 1892. There was an old wood building here way back in the day. They replaced it in 1910 with this building. It used to be kind of all open. They sold all kinds of stuff. But yeah, same floor, same tin ceiling, just kind of rearranged some things. And we've got a slaughterhouse on the other side, cutting room, cooler, carcass cooler over there. I think over there used to be a bank at one point in time.
Okay, so this has kind of evolved from different buildings to now what it is now.
Yes, it sure has. At one point I think there was a couple grocery stores in this town that sold a variety of products, and the invention of home refrigeration took what kind of was our niche as the locker business, where people would butcher a beef, they'd store it in a locker that they rented, a frozen food locker, come in on a Sunday and get your key and get a roast out for the family, but nobody had freezers at home. At one point, somebody figured out how to do that, so the frozen food locker business kind of went away, but the processing, the ability to bring in an animal, slaughter it, dry age it, that kind of grew and grew. So some of the things faded away, some got more popular.
And not every place does you sell meat out of it as well, which is unique for Belschner here.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of little shops that do butcher, they do have a retail counter. Most of what we do is process sides and quarters for families. But we do keep the, ground beef, steaks, roast, jerky, snack sticks, brats, bacon. We keep that here just as a service. Not everybody wants to buy a whole half a beef or quarter of beef.
And if folks don't have a producer that they know, or they know somebody that knows, or are you able to kind of connect producers with folks, or what does that kind of look like? As it seems that folks buying in bulk is becoming more and more popular.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We keep a list of people that are interested in sides and quarters, half hogs, and when a local producer that's got beef or pork scheduled says, well, I got 10 scheduled, but I got beef and a half left that's unsold, I can then give him those names and say these people were looking for a quarter at one time, and then essentially kind of introduce them to a producer that they might stick with forever. Maybe they, try this guy one year, try that guy another year. A lot of times people tell me what they're looking for. Some are looking for a little leaner beef, maybe grass-fed, some high choice or even prime beef. And we've done business with so many of these local producers. We know what product they offer, and there's something for everyone.
And another kind of part of the industry is it seems that you always hear how busy lockers are and how busy you guys are. Is that something that you've kind of felt in the past 10 years or so?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're as busy as you want to be. If you hire the help to do the work, you could be busy. If you got a lot of people wanting you to do the work, you can be busy. COVID is kind of what put that on the map. Everybody was booked out a year or two just because everybody wanted us to do the work, because some of the big plants weren't doing it. But the big plants do a lot of the heavy lifting around here. We can only do so much, but even before then, if we were booked out, say 4 months, that's too long. We added more cooler space, added a bigger freezer, hired more guys. So we kept that wait time down to hopefully a month, 2 at most. So that's what grew. 25 years ago when we started, we were doing like 6 to 8 beef a week, and now we do 40, sometimes 50. So that's just trying to keep that wait time down. So when people call and say, I need you to do this work, you don't have to tell them, well, it's going to be 6 months. That's not good service in the service industry.
Again, we're talking to Casey Mitchell, who is the owner-president, Belschner Custom Meats here in Amherst. Again, one of the many stops you can get your passport stamped here in the Nebraska Beef Passport Program. Casey, let's talk more about what it means for being on the local side, being in the community, right? Because, I mean, that has to be so important for people to trust you guys to do that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's food. Food is a very kind of intimate thing, and we're proud that we can provide that service for so many. And you know, the beef passport thing, getting people that maybe never even heard of Amherst, wouldn't think of maybe seeking out a little mom and pop type butcher shop to buy their retail cuts in. I think it's neat. The people we meet that are doing this, they're kind of, I don't know, doing a little vacation type of thing.
Yeah, and obviously the beef passport primarily runs in the summer months, but you guys are busier. Do you guys do wild game? Do you kind of branch out during that time of year, or what does the outside of the summer months look like for Belschner Custom Meats?
You know, it's a lot of the same. We schedule about the same amount of beef and the same amount of pork, pigs every week. Now, there's times like in the fall, November, when we will do a bunch of deer. You know, 10-day deer season. We'll take in maybe 30 or 40 deer a day. So in those weeks, we just don't do any pigs because I need that smokehouse to run snack sticks and jerky. And so instead of doing the beef, we just do the deer. As soon as the deer are done, we're right back to our normal. We slaughter up pigs on Monday and beef all the rest of the days. So.
You feel like you've seen an increase in deer in particular?
You know, yeah. I mean, we only started doing deer, like my grandpa and the guys when, you know, that he had hired here did them in the 60s and 70s, and they quit doing it. They said, well, it's a lot of work. We got plenty of beef and pork to do. We don't need that deer for fill-in work. And so took a long time off and didn't do any deer. And I suppose it was about 10 years ago I started kind of dabbling in it. And there's a lot of good deer processors here, and I didn't have a lot of good deer recipes. So it took a while to kind of tiptoe into it and try this, try that, and yeah, it's slowly growing once people figure out, you know, oh, you can get a whole carcass deer done here. Yeah, it's grown. You know, during COVID, when a lot of people could get all the beef they want, they quit doing deer, so that kind of lumped a few more on us. But we do 200 or 300. That fills us up. By the time those are all done, all my regular crew's kind of ready to get back to business as usual.
So again, Casey, what can people purchase here if they're stopping through, right? If they're on the passport program, they're wanting their passport stamp, checking things out. What's available for them to buy?
Well, you know, we try to always keep, you know, ground beef, steaks, roasts, pork chops, cutlets, bacon. We got usually 6 or 8 different kinds of bratwursts, 3 or 4 different kinds of snack sticks, 3 or 4 different kinds of jerkies, 5 or 6 different kinds of sausage. That would be what retail, and then of course if they were interested in a quarter of beef, half a hog, I could take their name, put them on a list, and get that found sourced for them as well.
What do you guys feel like you sell most of?
Oh, in the retail, probably jerky, bratwurst. We sell most. I mean, got to remember, most of the people that come to Amherst, they're coming here with a cooler. They're going to haul 200, 300, 400 pounds of whole muscle beef cuts. And so to say, hey, you know, do you want some burger or steaks? They usually got that. But the jerky and snack sticks, or if they're picking up beef, maybe they don't have bacon, you know. So then we can get some of that tucked in their order.
Yeah, and kind of speaking of, if you had to pick one of the things that we could grab today, try, what would your go-to be? Is it the jerky side, snack stick? What's your recommendation, I suppose, for folks that come through and just want a snack for the passport road?
Snacks would be, you know, like our jerkies, snack sticks. We have a barbecue whole muscle jerky that's really popular. Our regular snack stick that, you know, it's Grandpa's recipe from way back. And then we've got variations of that with cheese, with jalapeno, some of the, you know, different flavors. But our regular snack sticks, our barbecue, our honey barbecue snack sticks, really popular. We got a Philly cheesesteak brat that we sell a ton of, but you got to take those home and grill them, so it's not a good on-the-road snack. But yeah, well, I'll send you home with some, and then you can be the judge.
Well, again, Casey, as we wrap things up today, how can people get in contact with you? And again, why should they stop here at Belschner's Custom Meats here in Amherst.
Yeah, well, you can get in contact just like you guys did. You can just come here. That's one way. You can go to bcmeats.com. We got a website there that's kind of more informational. You can't really order stuff. We can't ship anything out of state. Call if you want to get on a list for a quarter of beef, half a hog. We can sure do that. As far as unique, we're a 5th generation shop. My great grandpa Fred, I think 2 greats, started this way back in the day. I think if I looked, somebody on Facebook had a thing where I think we're the 8th oldest butcher shop in North America and the 5th oldest family-owned butcher shop.
Wow.
So, and which some of the ones on the East Coast, I think the oldest was 1840 something they've been in operation. But as you go west, stuff gets a little newer. So I think we're the oldest this side of the Missouri River, near as I can go.
Well, that in itself is a unique story, as it is. Well, make sure to stop by Belschner Custom Meats here in Amherst. Get your passport stamps. Again, all part of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program. As again for Jacob Roth, I'm Tyler Cavalli. That is Casey Mitchell, who's the owner and president of Belschner Custom Meats here in Amherst, as we are sizzling on the road here for KRVN.